For y'all that don't know Kevin Lolley, he's a local Panama City Beach fishing guide, but I got a new trick for him today. We're gonna take him tarpon fishing.
I have done a lot of fishing in this area over the years. Tarpon fishing I've never done.
You know, I wanted to just throw in and at least get a bite just to get the morning started. And, you know, I threw some soft plastic in there and bam. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. And then get all the way, both arms up under his belly.
That's a stud. There you go.
How about that, sir?
How about that, man?
These fish are, I mean, they can live 50 plus years. And as long as we protect these fish and take care of them, you know, this is a fishery that literally could last to the end of time.
Chasin the Sun is brought to you by DOA Fishing Lures, the unfair advantage. Dorado Boats, custom fishing boats. Dulce Vida Tequila. And by Fire Disc Cookers, built to haul, cooks it all.
All right, Kevin, what's happening, man?
Not much, man. You doing all right?
Awesome, man.
Good deal, good
Glad
deal.
to have you out here. For y'all that don't know Kevin Lolley, he's a local Panama City Beach fishing guide, and he specializes in more reef fishing stuff, does some bay fishing stuff. But I got a new trick for him today. We're gonna take him tarpon fishing. Kevin Lolley's a local firefighter here in Panama City Beach, and I've been looking for the chance to get him out here and let us see what else he does, because he's not just a firefighter, he's also a professional fishing guide. He focuses a lot of his time and efforts on his charters to reef fishing. All through snapper season, when Kevin's out here hitting the reefs for the snapper, he's running right past all these tarpon, and I've been waiting to show him what he's missing out on.
Hey, I can't tell you how excited I am, man. I have done a lot of fishing in this area over the years, and tarpon fishing I've never done. So it'll be some first today. First time getting to fish with you, actually.
Right.
And hopefully we'll get on some tarpon and hook up and have some more first.
So Kevin picked a great time to come out here tarpon fishing with us because he's getting to take advantage of the years and years of work that myself, our production crew, and all our guides that I talk with and work with have put into this tarpon fishery.
Oh, shoot, under the anchor.
I didn't realize how good our tarpon fishing was until I learned how to do it correctly out here.
Look at that. Go. So Justin, whenever we head out of the pass, we have two options.
Yeah.
So do you generally like to go east down toward Shell Island, or are we gonna go west down in front of the condos?
Well, that's a good question. That usually is kind of dictated on the types of groups of fish we're seeing.
Okay.
A lot of days when we're tarpon fishing, we'll just set up, anchor up on the bar. I usually try to do that when we have small groups of fish, 2 or 3 fish in a group, maybe 5. But we're seeing lots of groups of fish.
Okay.
And the past few days, we haven't been seeing a lot of groups of fish, but what we have been seeing is big groups of fish. So we're only finding a couple groups, but they may have, 50 or up to 100 fish in a wad. So when we're looking for that, that's when I like to do what we call run and gun tarpon fishing. So out here in front of Shell Island, we like to keep it kind of calm and quiet. There's not a lot of boat traffic. So if we're gonna anchor up and fish, I usually like to fish out here in front of Shell Island. Now, when we're looking for these big wads of fish, run and gun fishing, I like to head west. Head right out here in front of the condos, right down the beach, Our boat traffic is not gonna bother other people because there's a lot of boat traffic. You know, we got jet skis and parasail boats. So we're just part of that boat traffic.
Okay.
And these tarpon don't mind one bit. We'll find a little quiet area down past that. And then once we find that little quiet area, those fish settle down. And that's usually when we get our best shots.
All right, sounds like a plan. Even though it took no time to get the bites.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, nice. It took just a little bit longer to actually get the hook up and him stay on.
Oh, it come off, no way. Ah.
But I mean, we're not 30 minutes into this fishing trip and we're hooked up.
So Kevin, you know it's gonna be a good day when we hadn't really started fishing yet. We ride past the pier and they had a tarpon hooked up on the pier.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, we ain't even drank all of our coffee yet and we're already seeing fish.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and another thing we can learn from that is these fish, we know they're moving west down the beach, so we know there's a school of fish right there. Sometimes, like right now, if I don't see them, Kevin, and I know we should be kind of close to them, you can make long casts just straight out across here and just go ahead and start slow rolling it through here.
Just doing a little blind cast.
Yeah. You know, the guys fishing off the pier, they spend a lot of time up there to get a shot at a tarpon. Well, once that school of fish passes the pier and their shot's over with, now we get the chance, you know, we can follow that school. I'd throw out the other side. Yeah, throw way out like that. Just go ahead and start slow winding it right there. We should be right around them. You know, I wanted to just throw in and at least get a bite, just get the morning started. And, you know, I threw some soft plastic in there and bam. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. Got the bite, but it jumped right off. Oh, it come off, no way. Ah. He bit and he just kept swimming at us. He wouldn't run away.
Couldn't get that set.
The jump's what we're trying to get, but that's tarpon fish. So we usually don't worry about live bait, but we want to make sure we get some tarpon on film.
Oh yeah.
So when we have some of these big wads out here, there's no better way than if you got these for plan B. We got a bunch of plan Bs today.
Gotta have plan B, man, and C and D.
That's right. So if you find yourself out here and you got a sabiki up some baits, I got a few tricks for you. First off, you don't need to see them on the surface. We'll mark them on the sonar, and if you see them on the sonar, the big ball of bait, get your sabiki rig, which is a bunch of little gold hooks, have a little flash on there. You don't need to tip it with anything, don't need any bait. These are Spanish sardines that we're catching. This is the swivel that comes on your sabiki rig to put a weight on. Only problem is if you put your weight right here, your first hook is really close to your hand. So when you got a bait flipping around and you try to grab that, a lot of times you end up with that little hook in your hand and it stinks, it hurts. So I add an extension with at least a 3-ounce weight down here. And the reason I like to use a heavy weight is because when you start hooking these minnows, they'll swim up. And if you have a light weight, they'll run up all around each other and your whole rig gets tangled. So that heavy weight keeps it nice and straight. You see him right here? Don't come towards me anymore.
Even though it took no time to get the bites, it took, you know, just a little bit longer to actually get the hook up and him stay on.
Go wherever you want. Don't worry about where I'm at.
Even in the scheme of things, it was a short period of time before we actually got to fight fish for an extended period of time. Right there in the middle of them?
Yeah. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, nice.
That's something that you have to know going into tarpon fishing. We're not out here to land a certain number of fish. When you get your hands in the mouth of a tarpon, you've gone through a lot. I don't care where you're at. I mean, it's just not gonna happen where you just go catch, catch, catch. Hurry up and come grab the rock. He's about to go around the back of the boat. Just crank down. Grab it, crank down. There we go. Follow him around the back. Follow him all the way around the back. There we go. Oh, getting that goal. You should grab that air.
He getting ready to go.
I've heard a lot of different theories about, you know, how they develop that to come up and roll for air and all that mess. You know, a lot of people say they're like just super old prehistoric fish, which makes sense to me. Probably been around since the beginning of time.
Right.
But I think God gave them a swim bladder that they could breathe with, so they would have to come up and roll so they could drive us nuts.
That's it.
If these tarpon swam around on the bottom, we never saw them.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
That's
we wouldn't
right.
care about them. All right. Come to Papa. Head's the wrong way. Don't you start acting up now, boy.
You got 3 bites and hookups, you know, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one we were on.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not 30 minutes into this fishing trip and we're hooked up.
Yeah, try to get under his belly, Ken. And then get all the way, yeah, both arms up under his belly.
That's a stud.
Just get his head down in the water, and as soon as you feel him start to kick, just push him down and away from the boat. He should swim off just fine. Happy fish.
All right.
How about that, sir?
How about that, man?
Good job,
I appreciate
Kevin.
it. Appreciate it.
One of the most important things when we're lure fishing tarpon is to get your lure on the same level as that fish.
Oh, there he is.
He's on, right here. Keep going, keep going. There we go. Look at that fish. Oh my goodness. One of the most important things when we're lure fishing tarpon is to get your lure on the same level as that fish. If that fish is up on the surface and your lure is 5 feet below the surface, you won't get the bite. I mean, he's just not gonna swim down there to it. But the same goes when that fish is 6 feet below the surface and our lure is right up top. I mean, it's unlikely that he's gonna come up there to bite. So that's where we try to, and that's why we have so many different lures, you know, different weights, different sizes, so we can get the fish to have the lure right in his face. Oh, that's a nice water tarpon right here. It's probably like 30 fish. And the good thing is, we didn't even really get close to them.
Yeah, they're far enough.
So they ought to be nice and happy.
We talked about anticipating me catching a tarpon, and I'm excited about it. And we get out there, and we've had a couple hookups, but you really talked to me about the possibility of being able to hook up to a tarpon that's 100+ pounds.
Yeah.
So that don't happen every day. I got it down deep. I guess one of them run into it maybe.
Oh,
there he is!
He's on! Right here. Keep going, keep going. You got light drag too.
All right.
There we go. Look at that fish. Oh my goodness. When you look through the entire warm waters of the world, the tarpon is the greatest game fish there's ever been. They're huge. They're extremely smart. You know, they jump like crazy. You know, we don't have to run 100 miles offshore to catch them. They swim right up to the beaches in here. That's what makes the tarpon the ultimate game fish.
There's a few things that you failed to tell me when I was getting ready for this thing, and one was the fight that I had to be ready for.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a professional fireman here, and we work out all the time.
Yeah.
But I was not ready for this thing. You know, I'm sore everywhere around my hips and my pelvis and my biceps, and you know, I'm bruised up. And while I was out there, you know, I was constantly trying to find somewhere else to put that rod.
Yeah.
And you know, I was putting it on my belt even just to get some cushion.
All right, now try it. When it gets up, see if you can just, that's it, keep his head up on the surface. You know, I say Kevin's just lucky landing all these tarpon on his first day ever tarpon fishing, but I'll give him a little credit, man. He's a great athlete, he's a great fisherman. He was well prepared for this, and I like to say that luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Of course, I do think it was my preparation and opportunities that I created, but hey, he did capitalize on them, so I'll give him that. Now that is a fish. Look at that bait buster right there. Oh, he was chafing on that leader too. Man, I can't believe he didn't come undone. These fish are, I mean, they can live 50 plus years.
Wow.
So a lot of these fish we're catching, especially the bigger ones, these are old fish and they make this migration every year. And as long as we protect these fish and take care of them, keep them in the water and release them healthy, you know, this is a fishery that literally could last to the end of time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, you know, and we want to give this opportunity to everybody else and our kids who are coming up, you know, and so you're right, you were really big on the way that we would handle the fish and how we needed to get them in, you know, if it was getting too long into the fight, and then you were...
Just crank that drag down.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, you were, like I say, you were teaching me at the same time, and it was as much about how to take care of the fish and release the fish as it was catching it.
Yeah, that's a beast. That's a 120 or more. Oh, he's in good shape too. We're gonna go, oh yeah, he's kicking good. All right, big buddy. Oh my goodness. Kevin, you're killing me, man.
That fish is killing me. It's going full circle.
Holy cow, that was a beast. Give me some of that.
All right, my man.
Wow, I'm tired, and all I had to do was grab him right here. I feel bad for him on the rod for a half hour.
It's a water break time for sure.
Yeah. And I've never actually been on a Ferris wheel of any type. And I might be scared of heights, but I'm not totally scared or sure. Moves under you, see it?
I will say, as pretty as these are, that dude right there, man, he's hard to beat.
Chasin' the Sun's been brought to you by Native Eyewear, built for the backcountry. Pirates Cove Marina, you enjoy the Gulf, we'll take care of the rest. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better. And by Visit Panama City Beach, real fun beach.
We're here at Skywheel Panama City Beach. You know, last year we actually got to see this thing being built from the water because the beach is right there. And I've never actually been on a Ferris wheel of any type. And I might be scared of heights, but I'm not totally scared or sure. We're gonna check it out. There's also a ropes course, which I haven't done one of those since I was in college. We're gonna go have fun and see what this is all about.
Over this and through these two holes on the bottom.
Gotcha. Well, this thing's getting tight. Yeah, you know, scared of heights. Yeah, that all moves under you, see it? Well, obviously I'm not American Ninja Warrior. Now that we established that I'm terrified of heights, we're gonna get in the one gondola that has a see-through floor to further exacerbate my fear. So here we go. At the very least, we're gonna have an awesome view of Panama City Beach. Woohoo! Don't look down. Is that what they say? 187 feet's a pretty good ways up. We got Pier Park, obviously the pier. All the hotels on the beach. Sunset over the Gulf of Mexico. Pretty cool, 360 view. It's probably the only 360 view on the Gulf Coast that I know of. Definitely recommend doing this one.
With an amazing first day of tarpon fishing under his belt, Kevin takes Justin out into the Gulf to make a great day even better.
That is a beautiful red snapper, Kevin.
Oh yeah.
I will say, as pretty as these are, anybody that fishes out here, especially on a regular basis and really knows these fish, knows that dude right there, man, he's hard to beat. And that makes 4 big old red snappers, Kevin. That means we're done.
We're done.
That was easy.
Good
Hey,
job, buddy. Nice work.
hit the beach for some tarpon, limit of red snappers, perfect day in Panama City Beach.
Don't get any better than this, man. Been a great day.
Beautiful.